Akutsu is a greasy, balding nobody who waddles into class like he's about to drop the hottest mixtape of the century. But wait, everyone's jaws hit the floor faster than a shonen protagonist's first power-up. Why? Because Akutsu's got the kind of hairline that makes you question the existence of a merciful god. The teacher drops the bomb. Turns out, little Akutsu once mistook his dad's hair tonic for hair removal cream. Akutsu gives a heart-wrenching introduction about his tragic past, complete with sad violin music playing in the background. The class, being the wholesome bunch they are, cheers him up. But plot twist, Akutsu's inner monologue reveals he's a sneaky little liar who thinks humans are as gullible as a cat watching a laser pointer. Classic. Just when you think the drama's over, the teacher spots something off about Akutsu's head. A wig? Oh, the betrayal. Akutsu's got a full head of hair hiding under there, and the teacher's world is shattered. Akutsu panics, claiming his hair suddenly grew back, and even tries to yank it out to prove his point. Spoiler, it doesn't work. The teacher, thoroughly done with this nonsense, tells him to sit down. Akutsu smugly thinks he's fooled everyone, but little does he know, chaos is just getting started. Enter Lily, the girl who instantly steals Akutsu's heart with a single smile. His body goes full-on anime protagonist mode, heart racing, face red, the works. During break, Akutsu's daydreaming about Lily like she's the main heroine in his rom-com fantasy. But before he can muster the courage to ask her out, another poor soul tries his luck. Spoiler, Lily shuts him down. Yuya, the class's resident peacekeeper, apologizes for his friend Hirota's failed confession. We learn Lily's name, and Hirota describes her as an angel. Akutsu's intrigued but also low-key disturbed. Hirota warns him that Lily's heart is a fortress, and he's already been rejected 5 times. Akutsu, however, is undeterred. He's got a mission, and Lily's the key. Cut to Akutsu walking home, brainstorming how to win Lily over. But fate has other plans. He literally bumps into her in an alley. Lily claims she's lost, but Akutsu's too busy internally screaming to question it. He awkwardly reintroduces himself, and Lily finds his dorkiness endearing. When he notices her torn sleeve, he offers to make it up to her. Lily, being the adorable enigma she is, suggests tea instead. Akutsu's heart does a backflip. As they chat, they bond over their shared loneliness. But just when things are getting cozy, a truck comes barreling toward Lily. Akutsu's hero instincts kick in, and he transforms midair to save her. Yeah, you heard that right. Dude's got moves. Lily's shocked but secretly smiling, while Akutsu's worried he blew his cover. At the park, Lily asks the million-dollar question. Are you even human? Akutsu, realizing the jig is up, drops the bombshell. He's a demon. Not just any demon. A demon on a mission to save Hell from losing a war against the angels. And guess what? He wants Lily to be the charismatic leader to rally the demons, because apparently Hell's HR department is that desperate. Lily's understandably unsure, but before she can process the fact that demons are real, she chains Akutsu to the ground. Wait, what? Yep, Lily's got wings, and she's not just any angel. She's the kind of angel who's about to make Akutsu regret every life choice that led him to this moment. Akutsu's world is officially crumbling. Lily, the girl he thought was his ticket to demonic redemption, just sprouted wings and revealed she's an angel. And not just any angel, a sassy, chain-wielding, scythe-summoning angel who's clearly been binge-watching too many shonen battles. She casually mentions she's already fought a beast-type demon earlier that day, hence the torn sleeve. Apparently, she humiliated it so badly it probably retired from demonhood altogether. Akutsu's furious. Humiliating his comrades? That's a line you don't cross. Cue the epic power-up. Akutsu's rage unlocks his inner demon. He lunges at Lily, but she dodges with the grace of a ballet dancer. He tries again, and she kicks him into next Tuesday, sending him flying. But wait, she catches him with her chain mid-air and slams him back into the ground. Brutal. She summons a scythe, ready to end him, but then she just blows in his face instead. What? Akutsu's confused, but Lily shrugs. I changed my mind. Let's make a deal. The deal? Akutsu becomes her servant. He's not thrilled, but Lily threatens to chain him up in public and let the internet do the rest. Akutsu reluctantly agrees, muttering, "Fine, but demons have morals, okay?" We don't betray our kind. Lily's response? A shrug and a magical collar that nullifies his powers and makes him her puppet. Akutsu's officially in hell. Ironic, since he can't even go back there now. Lily tests her new toy by ordering him to get her a drink. But here's the catch. She can't control how he fulfills her orders. Akutsu, being the chaotic gremlin he is, strikes bizarre poses and stores the drinks inside his body to warm them up. Lily's horrified, throws a shoe at him, and wonders what she's gotten herself into. Later, Akutsu arranges a throne for her because, apparently, he's a demon and an interior designer. Lily's impressed enough to offer a reward, but the collar forces Akutsu to ask for a kick in the butt. Lily's mortified, but hey, a deal's a deal. Just as she's about to deliver the most awkward reward ever, a policeman shows up. Lily bolts, Akutsu regains control of his body, and they flee to an alley like two side characters trying to avoid the main plot because they forgot to level up. Lily gets serious, threatening to make Akutsu do more public embarrassments if he doesn't cooperate. Akutsu fires back, "I'd rather be exorcised," but Lily explains she has bigger plans. She wants to use him to sniff out other demons, and Akutsu reluctantly agrees, mostly because he can sense his kind. Lily's thrilled, but she warns him, fail her, and there will be consequences. She promises to make him a decent and honest man, which, let's be real, sounds like the worst reward ever. Meanwhile, Akutsu discovers the collar's gone, replaced by tattoos on his neck. Lily forgot to mention this little detail, and now Akutsu's pool plans are ruined. He's fuming, plotting to get rid of the tattoos and take Lily down. On the flip side, Lily's writing her daily report to the heavens but conveniently leaves out Akutsu. She's determined to prove she can control him and make the heavens regret underestimating her. In a flashback, we see Akutsu's superior, Liz, sending him to the human world. She's worried about the demon's laziness and wants a charismatic leader to rally them against the angels. Akutsu's mission? Find that leader. Too bad he found Lily instead. Liz, Akutsu's demon superior, shows him a montage of the constant humiliations demons suffer at the hands of angels. It's basically a highlight reel of demonic embarrassment, and Akutsu realizes it's eerily similar to what he just went through with Lily. Liz then reveals she gave him that fake backstory about the hair tonic to gain sympathy from his classmates. Akutsu reflects on how unconvincing it was at the time, but now it's all starting to make sense. He tells himself to hang in there, and just as he's about to spiral into despair, he sees a TV program that sparks an idea. Cue the dramatic music. Akutsu's got a plan. The next day, Akutsu struts into class with a completely different aura. His friends are baffled. What's with the glow-up? Turns out, Akutsu spent the entire night studying fashion and beauty magazines. His grand plan? Make Lily fall in love with him so she'll remove the collar. Genius, right? Well, not so fast. Lily walks in with an even more radiant and sweet aura than usual. Akutsu's jaw drops. She saw the same TV program and did the exact same beauty routine. The plan backfires spectacularly, but hey, at least they're both glowing now. This mutual glow-up infuriates them both. They're ready to throw down, but the bell rings just in time to prevent a full-blown classroom brawl. Instead, they declare a Cold War, a duel to see who can win over the other first. Lily kicks things off with a classic move, the accidental hand touch while returning an eraser. She pretends to be embarrassed, score 1 for Lily, but Akutsu's not about to fall behind. He counters by touching her hair, claiming there's something in it. The move lands perfectly, and Lily turns bright red. She curses him under her breath for daring to challenge an angel. The battle is on. After class, the teacher asks Lily to take some papers to the staff room. The stack looks heavy, so she turns to Akutsu with her best cute damsel in distress act, asking for his help. The pressure is intense. It feels like a direct punch to Akutsu's pride, but he holds strong. He rolls up his sleeves, flexes his veins, and pretends to be the picture of strength. Lily's impressed, and her smile sends Akutsu's confidence through the roof. Score 1 for Akutsu. The Cold War escalates throughout the day, with both of them flirting so hard, it's a miracle the classroom doesn't spontaneously combust. The fight is tied, so Lily decides to pull out her ultimate strategy. While solving a problem on the board, She accidentally trips and falls into Akutsu's chest. It's a kamikaze move, but it works. She follows up with a sweet apology, and Akutsu's defenses crumble. Victory seems within Lily's grasp, until the teacher interrupts, tired of their constant flirting. They call a truce, but the war is far from over. A few days later, Lily's waiting for Akutsu on what appears to be a date. She's irritated, yelling at him for being late, but it turns out she's yelling at two random strangers. She tries to play it off innocently, but it only makes things more awkward. Just as the situation reaches peak cringe, Akutsu shows up, asking why these guys are bothering her. He delivers a speech about how to treat women, and even the strangers are impressed. Akutsu apologizes for being late, but Lily smacks him for making her wait. As he looks at her, he notices how much effort she's put into her appearance. She's stunning, and Akutsu can't stop staring. It brings back memories of their first meeting, when he thought she was an angel, literally. Lily gets flustered and warns him never to mention that day again, threatening to activate the collar and make him flirt with the teacher. Akutsu imagines the horror and instantly falls to his knees, begging for forgiveness while bystanders snap photos. Lily doesn't seem to mind the attention. Finally, Lily explains why they're really there: demon hunting. There's been a series of attacks attributed to wild dogs, but all the victims were women. Lily suspects it's a demon and has mapped out the key points where the attacks occurred. Akutsu explains that his demon detection range depends on how strong the demon is, as long as it's not hiding its power. The hunt begins, and Akutsu secretly hopes they don't find any of his allies. The last thing he wants is to become a traitor. Lily realizes they'll have to get close to weaker demons to detect them, and she's not thrilled about it. "That's as good as useless," she mutters. Akutsu can't sense anyone. Frustrated, they take a break at a cafe. At the cafe, Akutsu makes the mistake of pointing out how much Lily's eating. "You're going to end up like a meatball if you keep this up," he says. Lily's not amused. She scolds him and shakes him like a rag doll until he regrets opening his mouth. Just as he's about to apologize, he feels that disturbing presence again, this time even stronger. Lily thinks it's one of his tricks, but her instincts tell her something's off. The source of the evil aura? Hirota, who's banging his head against the cafe window out of sheer jealousy after seeing Akutsu and Lily on what looks like a date. He's scaring the people outside, so Akutsu and Lily decide to invite him in to calm him down. They make up an excuse, and Hirota, being Hirota, buys it completely. He believes Lily was just showing Akutsu around the city. Hirota explains he approached as soon as he saw them, but he shouldn't even be there because he was with someone else, and he'd told her he was going to the bathroom. Speaking of which, the girl he was with shows up. Her name's Yuka, and she's not exactly friendly. She instantly calls Lily a shrimp, and can't believe Hirota talks so much about her. "She looks like she's in elementary school," Yuka says, hitting a sore spot for Lily. Lily's internally seething, but she keeps her composure. Hirota introduces Yuka as his childhood friend, but Yuka corrects him. "Girlfriend," she says, glaring at Lily. Seeing an opportunity, Lily pretends to be disappointed. "Oh, so you asked me out so many times even while having a girlfriend?" she says, stirring the pot. Yuka's furious and drags Hirota away for a serious talk. Lily celebrates her victory, but Akutsu thinks she went too far. "Did you really need to add fuel to the fire?" he asks. Lily shrugs, but she seems a little disappointed. She decides to call it a day, warning Akutsu she'll punish him if she finds out he hid any demons from her. Unbeknownst to them, the demon they're hunting is watching from the shadows. Later, we see the two hunting a demon. Lily plans to humiliate it before exorcising it, but, plot twist, it's all a nightmare Akutsu's having. The next day, Lily discovers Yuka also goes to their school. Yuka claims she's there to apologize for mistaking Lily for an elementary student, but Lily knows it's just another provocation. Lily fires back with a fake apology for mentioning Hirota's constant attempts to ask her out. Yuka clarifies she was just joking about being Hirota's girlfriend and mentions she studies in the class next door. She hopes they can become friends, and Lily reluctantly agrees. But as soon as Yuka leaves, Lily's annoyance boils over. "I'll crush her," she mutters under her breath. Meanwhile, Akutsu's feeling down, haunted by the nightmare of Lily humiliating and exorcising a demon. His friends notice his mood and ask if he's okay. Akutsu can't tell them the truth, so he makes up a story about an older woman who appears in his dreams and won't let him sleep. His friends exchange looks, wondering if he's in love. Akutsu gets nervous, but when he thinks of Lily, his expression changes. His friends laugh, teasing him for acting like an elementary school kid. They're also surprised by the older woman's story because they thought he liked Lily. Akutsu wonders if Hirota would be bothered, but Hirota shrugs. "It's fine. Everyone's free to love whoever they want," he says. He admits he can't offer advice since he's never had a girlfriend. And even if things go well, Yuka shows up and drives the girls away. Akutsu thinks the ideal solution would be for Hirota to go out with Yuka, but Hirota explains there are issues preventing that. On the other hand, Lily's expression shifts when Yuka appears during her lunch break. Yuka approaches with a fake smile, and Lily immediately suspects her intentions, but decides to play along. She texts Akutsu, warning him she's with Yuka, but he's fast asleep and misses the message entirely. Yuka suggests they go shopping for clothes, and Lily agrees, bracing herself for whatever Yuka has planned. At the store, Yuka tries to mock Lily by handing her oversized clothes to try on. Lily sees right through it and counters by offering Yuka a skirt for a small waist, something Yuka definitely doesn't have. Critical hit. The two continue their shopping battle, trading verbal jabs in every store they visit. As they hang out, Yuka notices Lily keeps checking her phone and asks if she needs to head home early. Lily brushes it off, saying she still has time. Yuka then points to a photo booth, and Lily's eyes light up. It's her first time using one. Yuka initially plans to mock Lily again, but she changes her mind after seeing how genuinely excited Lily is about the photo booth. Meanwhile, Akutsu finally wakes up and sees Lily's distress messages. He rushes over, but by the time he arrives, Lily and Yuka are at a cafe. Lily's gushing over her photo, wondering where to put it, and Yuka's stunned by how cute she looks. Yuka admits she invited Lily out to get to know her enemy better. She realizes guys like Lily because she's the complete opposite of her, but she's not ready to back down. Still, she admits they might actually get along. Lily agrees, saying she had fun too. She clarifies she doesn't like Hirota, which makes Yuka happy, but Yuka warns her they'll still compete as women. "You have too many good qualities," Yuka says, and Lily can't help but feel a little flattered. Before leaving, Yuka hands Lily some growth medicine, which annoys Lily, but she decides to let it slide after the fun day they had. On her way back, Lily runs into Akutsu. He explains he missed her messages because he was sick. Suddenly, he senses a demonic presence, and Lily tells him to lead her to it. They find the demon, a wolf-like creature, under a bridge. Lily approaches to fight it while Akutsu stays hidden. The wolf demands to know why she's attacking him, and Lily mentions the reports of women being attacked. The wolf agrees to reveal the truth if she can defeat him, but first, he unleashes his true form. Spoiler, it's just pink leggings. And Akutsu can't believe what he's seeing. Lily's equally unimpressed. "This is your transformation?" "Cringe," she says, hitting him where it hurts. Akutsu, forgetting he's supposed to be hidden, comforts the wolf, who accuses him of being a traitor. Akutsu denies it, but when the wolf tells him to attack Lily to prove himself, Akutsu can't do it. He doesn't want his fellow demon to get hurt, but he also can't oppose Lily's will. As Lily prepares to exorcise the wolf, Akutsu panics and starts rambling about love. Neither Lily nor the wolf care, so Akutsu pulls out a microphone and starts reciting poetry. Yes, poetry. Lily joins in, but instead of heartfelt verses, she says she regrets ever meeting Akutsu because of all the stress he causes her. Akutsu's devastated but keeps going, annoying Lily even more. The wolf, however, starts to understand the sacrifice Akutsu's making. He breaks down, crying, and asks Akutsu to stop punishing himself. "It's time for me to sort things out on my own," he says. Lily demands to know why the wolf attacked women, and he confesses he's always been alone, but one day he developed a love for leggings and couldn't control himself. Lily's irritated by the ridiculous reason, but decides to purify him of his crimes. The wolf thanks Akutsu for being the only person who showed him kindness, and then, poof, he's turned into a dog. Lily takes pictures and hands him over to an animal shelter. Akutsu's confused, thinking Lily killed the demon, but she explains she just sealed away his wicked thoughts and demonic powers, turning him into a normal animal. She clarifies she doesn't intend to kill demons, though she can't speak for other angels. Akutsu's shocked. He always thought angels were cruel. Lily shows him a photo of the demon she humiliated earlier, revealing she just drew eyebrows on it for ruining her clothes. Akutsu's worldview is shattered. Lily suggests they eat something to regain energy, but she notices Akutsu acting strange. He confesses she's kinder than he imagined. Lily pretends to be proud, but deep down, his words mean a lot to her. Everyone always calls her kind, but this is the first time someone said it after seeing her true nature. Later, we see Lily on top of Akutsu, about to give him a kiss. But suddenly, Akutsu wakes up. His teacher is standing over him, furious he fell asleep in class. As Akutsu rubs his eyes, he realizes one thing. He's completely in love with Lily. At home, Akutsu can't stop thinking about Lily. His thoughts are interrupted when someone rings his doorbell. He opens the door to find Liz, his demon superior, standing there. Akutsu slams the door shut, opens it again, and repeats the process several times to make sure he's not hallucinating. Finally, he apologizes for slamming the door in her face and asks what she's doing there. Liz explains she came to deliver his winter uniform. She asks how his mission is going, and Akutsu realizes he's completely forgotten about it. He mentions he found a candidate, but says she turned out to be too problematic, so he needs to keep looking. Liz nods understandingly and offers to help, but first, she declares it's time to sleep. Akutsu's nervous about sharing a house with her, but Liz assures him she brought everything necessary. Cue the sleeping bag. Akutsu's fantasies of forbidden romance are quickly dashed. The next morning, Liz reminds Akutsu they need to train after breakfast. This means hitting the streets to find potential candidates for the demon idol role. Unfortunately, Akutsu's approach is awkward. He tries talking to a girl with a pet, making up a story about looking for his sister's lost puppy. Surprisingly, it works. She gives him her number in case she finds the dog. Liz praises him, but warns he needs a strategy for each person. Later, Akutsu runs into Yuka, who mocks him for hitting on people, but agrees to go out with him out of boredom. They head to a bar and order juices, but Akutsu's at a loss for words. Liz didn't prepare a guide for this scenario. Yuka starts talking about Lily, asking if he's in love with her. Akutsu's reactions give him away, and Yuka consoles him. The conversation shifts to Hirota, and Yuka seems hopeless. Akutsu manages to give her some surprisingly good advice, motivating her. Liz tells Akutsu to invite Yuka on a date, but he hesitates, not wanting to get in Hirota's way. Liz warns him she'll have to report his lack of progress to their superiors if he can't complete his training. Meanwhile, Lily's at home, sick. When she sneezes, she accidentally activates the collar's power. Back with Akutsu and Yuka, they're having a surprisingly good time walking home. Yuka's a bit embarrassed, but assures him she won't tell anyone what happened. Liz appears, congratulating Akutsu on his progress but reminding him about the collar's activation. During the date, the collar made Akutsu flirt with the bartender, and Liz warns him not to let that happen again in front of a girl. Akutsu curses Lily for the bad timing, but convinces Liz he's capable of completing his mission. Relieved, Liz leaves. Akutsu feels the training actually helped and becomes motivated to continue his mission. Meanwhile, Lily's at home, trying to look as cute as possible to win Akutsu over and make him more obedient. But when she sees him the next day, she's flustered. Akutsu's acting strange, and she finds him more attractive and dazzling than ever. He suddenly touches her cheek, leaving her blushing. Lily threatens to use the collar to annoy him, but Akutsu just smiles and ignores her. She's stunned. Lily launches her plan B. She runs down the hallway in a cute manner, pretending to ask where the teacher is. In her mind, it's the perfect attack, but Akutsu dodges it effortlessly, responding normally. Lily's baffled. She tries everything, tying up her hair, unbuttoning an extra button, but Akutsu doesn't react. Finally, he casually mentions, "It's a pity you let your hair down again. It looked really nice tied up." Lily's almost affected but quickly blames herself for falling into his trap. Determined not to accept defeat, Lily waits until Akutsu's going down the stairs to launch her ultimate move. She runs up the wall like a ninja and throws herself at him, pretending it's an accident. The plan works, sort of. Akutsu catches her hand mid-air and holds her close, asking if she's okay. Lily's completely flustered, realizing she's been counterattacked. She imagines Akutsu laughing at her for underestimating demons and tries to run away, but Akutsu insists on taking her to the infirmary first. Later, Akutsu's alone, thrilled his plan is working. Meanwhile, Liz reflects on his progress and decides more visits are necessary. She tries a series of ridiculous disguises to blend in, only to get embarrassed when someone walks in on her. Lily, still reeling from her defeat, tries one last risky move. She drinks water from Akutsu's bottle, aiming for an indirect kiss. It seems to work. Akutsu's affected, but so is Lily. She sees his smirk and realizes he planned this. Lily throws the bottle in the air and cuts it with her chains, drenching herself in water. She thinks it's the perfect move, but Akutsu doesn't hesitate. He immediately gives her his jacket so she doesn't catch a cold. Lily's completely defeated. There's nothing left for her to try. The battle is over, and Akutsu's won. Yuka shows up, and Lily, desperate for advice, asks her how to win a boy's heart. "You're my only hope," Lily says, looking genuinely flustered. Yuka thinks for a moment, then pulls out her phone to show Lily the answer to her problems. What's the solution? We don't know yet, but Yuka's confidence suggests it's going to be good. Meanwhile, Akutsu wonders if they're going monster hunting, but Lily surprises him. "I changed the plan," she says. "You've been working so hard, so I decided to reward you." Her reward? Cooking for him. Akutsu is suspicious but refuses to let it affect him. They head to her apartment, and Akutsu starts to get nervous being in her house. Lily tells him not to be weird, but he can't help it. She looks stunning in her apron. The battle of wits begins. Akutsu tells her to put something on, but Lily reveals she's wearing clothes underneath the apron. The food turns out better than Akutsu expected, and to his surprise, it's delicious. He can't stop thinking about the depth of the flavors. Lily explains she's especially good at cooking pasta and prepared several types just for today. She admits she eats a lot of pasta during the week, but Akutsu points out her diet should be more varied. When she asks what he normally eats, he just says, "Bell peppers." Lily bursts out laughing. "I wasn't asking about the ingredients," she says. They argue over whether bell peppers can be a main dish, and for a moment, they forget about their competition. It's like two boxers throwing their gloves on the ground and just hanging out. The date continues with a movie. Akutsu wants to watch an action film, but Lily vetoes it because there are too many bugs in it. Akutsu smirks, discovering a new weakness of hers. They settle on a romantic movie instead. Lily's engrossed, and Akutsu notices how girly she is, even though she's an angel. This distracts him, especially when the characters start kissing. The atmosphere becomes dangerously awkward. Lily seems into it, but Akutsu's sweating bullets. When the scene ends, they're both flustered. Lily gets up to grab a drink, avoiding eye contact, but she trips. Akutsu tries to catch her but ends up falling with her. They lock eyes, and for a moment, it feels like something's about to happen. But then, beep, 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 Lily's alarm goes off, ruining the moment. She's left blushing, and Akutsu says he needs to leave because it's getting late. The alarm was for Lily to give her daily report to her superiors, but after completing it, she can't stop thinking about what just happened. Her heart won't stop racing. It's the first time she's felt this way. On his way home, Akutsu's in the same boat. He can't stop thinking about how Lily's an angel, but also cute. His heart's pounding, and he finally realizes it. He's in love with her. The next day, both of them are sleepy in class because neither could sleep after the almost kiss. Lily dozes off and ends up in a dream where Akutsu's a character in a dating game. She wants to wake up, but the game won't let her. Suddenly, Akutsu's bald head appears, eating ice cream. The options are unreadable, and when she tries to select one, Akutsu starts multiplying. It's a nightmare. Meanwhile, the real Akutsu is curious about what Lily looks like while sleeping. He leans in, but her nightmare-induced expression scares him so much he decides to pretend he never saw it. Back in the dream, Lily finally advances in the game by trial and error. She's excited about the date event, but can't decide if she wants to wake up or not. The dream continues, and Lily's nervous. Akutsu declares his love for her and asks her to close her eyes. She's shocked, and options appear on the screen. It seems like she might get a kiss, but before she can decide, A samurai appears to take Akutsu back to hell. Akutsu starts to die, confessing he at least wanted to see her smile again. The dream ends tragically, and Lily wakes up crying. Yuka and Akutsu are worried about her, and Yuka immediately blames Akutsu for whatever's going on. They take Lily to the infirmary to rest. When she wakes up, she starts reflecting on her feelings, admitting she can't control them. Her moment of introspection is interrupted when Akutsu shows up to check on her. Lily pretends to still be asleep because she's nervous. She thinks he's only there to try to win her over, so she imagines doing something against him while also picturing them together. But then she forces herself to remember he's a demon. When Akutsu starts removing his tie, Lily panics. She sees his chest and quickly hides, thinking he's about to attack her in her sleep. She uses her chains to restrain him, and Akutsu's completely confused. "You deserve it," she says, glaring at him. Akutsu tries to explain the misunderstanding. "I just wanted to ask you a favor," he says, rubbing the back of his neck. He asks Lily to remove his tattoo, explaining he wants to be able to go to the public baths. "I also want to enjoy the time I have in a place this beautiful," he adds. He thinks she might not understand since she lives in a bright world, but Lily seems to get it. She agrees to help him rewrite the necklace with her powers. But as Lily starts, her chains snap, and a girl with an axe appears out of nowhere, attacking Akutsu. He barely dodges in time. "Who is she?" Akutsu shouts. Lily explains she's her avatar, an anti-demon weapon she hid in his seal in case he tried to betray her. The avatar was accidentally freed, but now she's attacking Lily too. Suddenly, the teacher bursts in after hearing the commotion. Naturally, he becomes the avatar's next target. Lily and Akutsu manage to save him, with Lily restraining the avatar with her chains and throwing her against the wall. "Run with the teacher," Lily yells at Akutsu. The teacher, ever the drama king, pretends to die. Akutsu notes he's completely fine but is weirdly moved by the performance. Lily drags the teacher away with her chains, jumping out the window to the courtyard to draw the avatar into an open space. She creates a barrier with her chains to keep bystanders safe. The battle begins, and Lily and Akutsu work together to take down the avatar. But the avatar breaks the chains, surprising Lily. "She's stronger than usual," Lily mutters. Then she sees the mark on the avatar's back and realizes what's happening. Akutsu charges in, but the avatar kicks him away. "Run," he tells Lily, but seeing the mark has made her lose all hope. Akutsu defends her, refusing to give up. "We both came to Earth with a mission. We can't leave until we complete it," he says, reigniting Lily's determination. Lily feels pathetic for losing her will to fight so easily, especially after a demon reminded her of her purpose. She comes up with a plan that requires Akutsu's help. "The avatar's being controlled by someone else," she explains. "I need you to distract her so I can free her." Akutsu creates a dust screen by striking the ground, allowing him to attack from behind. He gets cut by the axe, but it turns out to be a clone made from Lily's chains. He holds the avatar off long enough for Lily to undo the seal on her back. Several snakes appear, but Lily uses her remaining energy to eliminate them. The avatar vanishes, and Akutsu collapses, his body feeling heavy. Lily admits the fight would have been easier if Akutsu's powers hadn't been sealed. "Sorry about that," she says before passing out. Meanwhile, the woman responsible for controlling the avatar watches from afar, intrigued by Lily's strength. She decides to send her brother to investigate further. That night, Akutsu stays to take care of Lily. He covers her with a blanket and is about to leave when Lily grabs his hand. "Don't go," she murmurs in her sleep. Akutsu's stunned. Does she want me to stay the night? He wonders. He sees her hand shaking and decides to stay, even though she's an angel. As he sits by her side, he reflects on the day. "I couldn't even change my collar," he mutters. He remembers Lily saying her avatar was being controlled and wonders if there's trouble in heaven. "I should have abandoned her earlier," he thinks, "but I didn't want to see her die." He pats himself on the back for being a good guy, until a figure appears, looking just like him. "Who are you?" Akutsu asks, confused. The doppelganger smirks. "I'm you," he says. Akutsu thinks he's dreaming, but the doppelganger insists it doesn't matter. "You're not just a good guy," he says. "You're a demon helping an angel. There's a bigger reason for that." He leans in. It's love, isn't it? Akutsu's horrified. That's not true, he argues, but the doppelganger knows everything about him. Don't get angry, the doppelganger says. You've got a good chance with her. He reminds Akutsu how Lily asked him to stay. She was just scared, Akutsu insists, but the doppelganger has another theory. She's in love with you too. Lily stirs in her sleep, but when her eyes open, it's actually the teacher staring back at him. Both Akutsu and the teacher scream in terror. After that chaos, Lily wakes up at home, confused. She heads to the bathroom to shower, only to find Akutsu sitting on her floor when she comes out. She can't remember how she got home and is horrified when she realizes what she said in her sleep. Did I really ask him to stay? She thinks, cursing herself. Lily considers erasing Akutsu's memories but notices the cut on his hand from the battle. She blushes, remembering how he was hurt protecting her. Why did you save me? She asks. You could have just walked away. Akutsu mumbles something incoherent and Lily yells, I'm not giving you any reward. But deep down, she's grateful. Lily remembers her promise to give Akutsu a hug for every 10 jobs well done. She's nervous because it was just a joke, but after everything he did, she thinks it's worth 1,000 good jobs. You did good, she says, trying to sound casual. But then Akutsu mutters the word hug in his sleep, and Lily freaks out. Don't talk nonsense, she yells, only to realize she was the one who brought it up. Her pride won't let her back out now, but the idea of hugging him is too embarrassing. She debates what to do and finally decides to go through with it. But Akutsu's still asleep, and Lily realizes she can't hug him now. She also doesn't want him to ask for it when he wakes up. Meanwhile, Akutsu's dreaming about his teeth teacher, yes, you read that right, giving him a lesson on how to understand women. To understand a woman, you must think like a woman, the teacher says, demonstrating. Akutsu tries it, but suddenly, he hugs her. Lily freaks out, but then notices his hands are shaking. He must be having a nightmare, she thinks, remembering how close he came to losing his life. She hugs him back to calm him down, realizing it actually feels nice. After the hug, she remembers she forgot to fix his collar and decides to change its color as a reward. Lily feels content, until she notices the hole Akutsu made in her window with a note apologizing for not having money to fix it. She realizes he carried her home in his arms and starts freaking out all over again. The next morning, Akutsu wakes up chained to the floor. He breaks free and decides to head home, but notices the bandage on his hand. Lily did this, he thinks. Meanwhile, Lily wakes up to find Akutsu making coffee. How are you feeling? He asks. I don't need a demon's concern, she snaps, but Akutsu takes it as a sign she's fine. She wonders why he's still there and realizes he made breakfast. Why did you do that? She asks. Just thanking you for fixing my hand, he says. Lily insists it's her duty as his owner. As they eat, Lily notices Akutsu struggling to hold his food. She prepares to feed him but quickly hides it when he questions her. Akutsu comments on the bell peppers in her fridge, and Lily clarifies she never said she didn't like them. They get ready for school, and Lily thinks Akutsu looks good today. But when he starts walking in the opposite direction, she's confused. I'm skipping first class. I need a shower, he says. Lily finds this unacceptable, but Akutsu reminds her he saved her life. That was your duty, she says, adding that his collar would have exploded if he didn't help. Akutsu's shocked, but Lily admits she was lying. He gets mad, and she tells him to be grateful, revealing she changed his collar while he slept. Akutsu thanks her, thrilled he can finally go to the pool. But their morning takes a turn when Yuka and Hirota spot them leaving Lily's apartment together. The two freak out, and by the time Lily and Akutsu get to school, the whole class is in turmoil. Lily calls Akutsu to the terrace to discuss the tragedy. She explains that after Hirota and Yuka saw them, the rumor spread like wildfire. I thought I could handle them since they're just humans, she says, but as soon as I sat down, they attacked me like snakes. Akutsu's baffled at how fast the rumor spread. Lily explains it was Hirota who kept repeating, Akutsu and Lily slept together, in shock. Akutsu initially doesn't care about the rumor, but then he realizes it could ruin his chances with other girls. If they think I'm dating Lily, no one will talk to me, he says. He decides to help Lily squash the rumor, but she notices how nervous he is. It's time to show the humans the theater of an angel and a demon, she declares, putting her plan into action. Back in the classroom, Lily's surrounded by curious girls. She starts explaining what happened, but gets up to get a drink, opening the door to reveal Akutsu. They act like casual friends, but the class isn't buying it, until Koya, the class weeb, overanalyzes the situation. The distance between them is perfect for friends, she says. If they were pretending, it wouldn't be so natural. The class agrees to observe them more, and Akutsu realizes Lily's plan is working. Angels are scary, he thinks. Meanwhile, Yuka's talking about Lily's excuse. Akutsu accidentally entered her condo, fell into a trap, and got encased in stone until Lily saved him. Akutsu thinks the story's ridiculous. Who gets encased in stone these days? Yuka asks. To make it more believable, Akutsu shakes out his uniform, pulling out a marble. See? Stone, he says. The class buys it, for now. During lunchtime, Yuka's in a good mood because Hirota's back to normal. Lily, however, is suspicious. What's she plotting? Lily wonders as Yuka invites her to eat together. Yuka apologizes for being curious, and even feeds Lily to make up for it. Then she mentions Akutsu also wants to be fed. Lily thinks Yuka's trying to make her feed Akutsu, but Yuka suddenly offers to feed him herself. Turns out, Yuya's plan is to make everyone jealous, while Yuka's goal is to make Hirota jealous. Akutsu doesn't seem to mind, but Lily emits an evil aura that makes Yuka fear for her life. Lily forces a fake smile, and Yuka concludes they aren't dating because Akutsu seems too calm about it. But Lily's reaction tells a different story. Lily convinces herself she's irritated because she doesn't want to look at Akutsu, but deep down, she's not so sure. Yuka decides to turn up the heat and asks Akutsu out on a date. They go shopping for glasses, and Akutsu finds Yuka's shirt impressive. She's pretty, he thinks, enjoying the outing. Meanwhile, Lily's watching them from a distance, fuming. She tries to justify her behavior, telling herself she's on a mission to ensure Akutsu doesn't spill any secrets. Yuya's with her, acting as her alibi so no one thinks she's spying. Hirota's there too, but Lily insists he's optional. Yuya comments on how good Yuka and Akutsu look together, which stings Lily more than she'd like to admit. Yuya thinks Yuka's trying to make Lily confess her feelings and decides to help. They continue watching Akutsu and Yuka, with Yuya guiding Lily so she doesn't miss anything. Lily starts feeling strange seeing them together and wonders what's wrong with her. Yuya suggests she should be more honest with her feelings, giving her the same advice he gave Hirota earlier. Lily asks Hirota about what Yuya said, but Hirota gets nervous and bolts to the bathroom. Lily reflects on Yuya's words, realizing he sensed her jealousy. She wants to deny it, but her heart won't let her. Just then, Akutsu and Yuka appear, and Lily jumps into a bush to hide, only to discover it's filled with water. She has no choice but to endure the cold and stay quiet. Akutsu and Yuka start talking, and Yuka asks if Akutsu likes Lily. Lily's mortified, and Akutsu tries to be straightforward. I find her cute, he says, making Lily smile despite herself. Yuka presses him, asking what he likes about her. Akutsu admits he admires Lily's strength and focus on her goals. She's kind too, he adds. Yuka teases him for being so serious, and Lily feels like she's being tortured. Then Yuka drops the big question. Would you like to go out with Lily? Lily's heart races, but Akutsu explains it's impossible because they're natural enemies with different goals. Lily's devastated and runs away. Hirota accidentally reveals he was spying for Lily, earning a punishment from Yuka. The date ends, and Akutsu wonders if Lily overheard everything. At home, Lily feels sick, both physically and emotionally. She goes to bed early but can't stop thinking about Akutsu's words. We're an angel and a demon. It's impossible, she mutters. At midnight, her fever spikes, and her chains appear as her avatar, Lilia, emerges. The next morning, Lily doesn't show up at school. Akutsu finds the piece unsettling, but his shock doubles when he sees Lilia in class. She introduces herself as Lily's older sister and announces she'll attend class for Lily. Everyone's intrigued, especially when Lilia convinces the terrified teacher to let her stay. The class celebrates, thrilled to have a new version of Lily. Akutsu's worried Lilia will attack him at any moment, but she pretends they've never met. My sister's told me a lot about you, she says, mentioning Lily feels indebted to him. Akutsu knows Lilia's here because Lily's illness allowed her to escape. During class, Lilia struggles to put lead in her pencil, and Akutsu thinks she's plotting something. But when the lead accidentally launches toward his head, he realizes she's just clumsy. Or maybe not so clumsy. In physical education, Lilia demonstrates an angel's might, aiming directly at Akutsu. He instinctively gets into a fighting stance, but still gets knocked out. Later, on the bench, Akutsu wonders why Lilia targeted him. She apologizes for attacking him the other day, explaining she was being manipulated. Akutsu forgives her, saying there's no reason to hold a grudge. Lilia calls him an unusual demon, and Akutsu fires back, "I could say the same about you. No one apologizes to their master's enemy." He thinks she's a lot like Lily. Lilia explains that avatars are influenced by their master's soul when they merge, taking on their appearance and behavior. However, some masters suppress their avatar's consciousness, turning them into puppets. Lilia, on the other hand, has her own thoughts and feelings. She reveals she wanted to experience school for herself, curious about the life Lily's been living on Earth. It was painful to watch her from heaven. Akutsu still doesn't understand why Lilia's been trying to hurt him. She admits it was an act of protest. "Lily got sick because of you," she says. Akutsu's clueless, so Lilia tells him to ask his heart. When he still doesn't get it, she spells it out. "You knew Lily was in love with you, but you went on a date with another girl while she was watching." Akutsu's brain short-circuits. Before he can process this, Yuka appears, having overheard everything. She smiles and announces she has a request. She wants to visit Lily with them. Lilia tries to escape, but Akutsu grabs her, realizing she didn't ask Lily's permission to go to school. He convinces her to join them, and they head to Lily's place. When Lily opens the door, she's shocked to see Lilia, but tries to play it cool in front of Yuka. Yuka mentions Lily never talks much about her sister, and Lilia seizes the opportunity to spill all of Lily's secrets. Lily's patience wears thin, and she sends Lilia to buy soap, already drafting her return papers in her mind. As Lily goes to make tea, she starts regretting giving Lilia self-awareness. Yuka asks Akutsu to check on Lily, using her illness as an excuse to leave them alone. Lily's still feeling weak, and when Akutsu catches her to prevent a fall, she remembers what he said to Yuka. Her emotions spiral out of control, and she starts grilling him about his date. "I had fun," Akutsu admits, which only makes Lily angrier. "Leave," she snaps, but she ends up fainting before he can go. When Lily wakes up, Yuka's by her side. Yuka apologizes for showing up unannounced and explains she needs to leave, but mentions Akutsu will stay until Lilia arrives. Before leaving, Yuka tells Lily, "Akutsu's cool." She also says goodbye to Akutsu, adding, "Never say never," referencing his earlier comments about Lily. Akutsu's left alone with his thoughts, replaying the day's events and realizing Yuka must have overheard everything. Suddenly, Akutsu hears a noise from Lily's room. Remembering Yuka's warning, he rushes in, worried something's wrong. But it's just Lily having a nightmare. She's calling for his help in her sleep and grabs his arm, causing him to freak out. Lily wakes up, her fever gone, but she's mortified to realize she's holding on to him. She quickly lets go, her face burning with embarrassment. Akutsu shares Lilia's reasons for going to school, explaining how it made him happy to see her curiosity about human life. Lily starts bragging, saying Lilia was influenced by her. "The world would be more peaceful if all angels were like me," she says, but then immediately gets embarrassed. Akutsu tells her he'll leave to wait for Lilia, but Lily stops him. "Don't leave the room," she says. She doesn't want to have nightmares and asks him to hold her hand until she falls asleep. Both of them are mortified by the request. Lily reminds him he told her to count on him if she needed anything, so he can't blame her for this. She starts blushing. He agrees and extends his hand. Lily holds it, but just as the moment gets tender, Lilia bursts in, scaring both of them. She proudly shows off the soap she bought and mentions feeling a warmth in her chest, which she assumes is because of Lily's emotions. "What were you two doing?" Lilia asks. Neither can answer, so they suffer in silence. The next day, Lily and Akutsu are in high spirits, planning to go out to celebrate Lily's recovery. But their moment is ruined when a man suddenly appears. Lily reveals he's her brother, Zwei, and Akutsu realizes he's also an angel. Zwei wonders who Akutsu is, but Akutsu's too shocked to respond. Lily steps in, explaining Akutsu's just her classmate. Zwei introduces himself, pleased to meet a friend of Lily's. He says he hasn't seen Lily in a while and wants to spend some family time alone with her. Lily agrees, saying goodbye to Akutsu, though she seems worried. As Akutsu watches them walk away, he reflects on the encounter. He's relieved his identity wasn't revealed and wonders if Lily's the type to be close to her brother. He remembers how uncomfortable she seemed, but assumes Zwei must be a nice guy since he's her brother. She'll be fine, Akutsu thinks. Meanwhile, Zwei creates a barrier to talk to Lily alone. He orders her to keep bowing and admits he's surprised she has a friend. Lily quickly clarifies that Akutsu's just a classmate and they're not close. She asks why Zwei came, and he pulls out a sword, warning her not to move without permission or she'll get hurt. Lily apologizes, and Zwei explains he's here on behalf of their older sister. He wants to know how Lily defeated the Avatar blessed by their sister. Lily remembers her battle with Lilia and Akutsu. Zwei finds it hard to believe she could disable the Avatar and remove the blessing. Lily explains she summoned the Avatar out of curiosity and had to fight for her life when Lilia attacked. She claims she managed to disable it and remove the blessing, showing Zwei an old wound as proof. Zwei's skeptical but decides to let it go. He mentions Lily was sent to the human world to defeat demons, but all she's faced are beast types. "Where are the humanoid demons?" he asks, accusing her of being lazy or scheming something. Lily explains humanoid demons are harder to find because they're smarter and more independent. Zwei declares it's a matter of incompetence and admits he and their older sister were worried Lily was planning something because of her grudge against them. He reminds Lily how she was treated by her sister, but Lily insists she's grateful for the work she's been given. Zwei apologizes for doubting her and says he'll report back to their sister. He congratulates Lily on a job well done. But then Zwei drops a bombshell. "Are you sure you just summoned your avatar and it went crazy?" he asks. He reveals their sister set a trap to give Lily trouble, and the condition to activate it was having a demon nearby when she summoned her avatar. Zwei suddenly charges, pinning Lily to the ground. He summons his sword and demands to know if there was a demon by her side at that time. Inside Lily, Lilia tries to break free but is chained by Lily's powers. Zwei doesn't buy Lily's excuses. "Don't lie to me," he says, his voice cold. "Who's the demon? What are you hiding?" Lily panics, her mind racing. She thinks about Akutsu, who's watching everything from a distance, trying to stay calm so he doesn't jump in. Akutsu doesn't understand what's happening, but realizes Zwei is an angel, and even stronger than Lily. He apologizes to Lily in his mind and starts to turn away, calling his boss, Liz. "Zwei's a cruel and brutal angel, just like in the books," Akutsu mutters. Spending so much time with Lily made him forget what angels are really like. He thinks Lily must be the same deep down because, well, all angels are the same. Liz answers the call, and Akutsu explains he's found an angel. "I'll run as far away as possible." But then he changes his mind. "Actually, that's what I want to say, but..." He hangs up and jumps into the fray. Zwei remembers Akutsu from earlier and wonders where he came from. He realizes Akutsu must be a demon and lunges at him, but Akutsu dodges. Zwei notices Akutsu's transformed state and smirks. "Lily lied to me," he says. "She must be punished. But first, I'll deal with you." Akutsu's mind races. "How do I get out of this?" he thinks. But before he can come up with a plan, Lily's chains wrap around him. "Why did you show up?" she asks, her voice trembling. "It's all over now." She tells him he only needed to hold on a little longer, but Akutsu shrugs. "My body moved on its own," he says. "Seeing you cry ruins my day." Lily releases him from the chains, and Akutsu lays out a plan. "We just need to defeat Zwei without killing him." Zwei, oddly enough, seems impressed. "I like you," he says. "I'll give you a chance. If you land a hit on me, I'll pretend nothing happened." He attacks, but Akutsu dodges and lands a kick. Zwei sends him flying, but Akutsu realizes Zwei's saber is the real problem. He charges again, breaking the saber, and Zwei finds him. Interesting. Zwei calls for backup, and 4 girls appear, pinning Akutsu down. They're Zwei's avatars, and they're as strong as he is. Akutsu struggles, but can't move. Zwei turns to Lily. "How did you get a demon as your partner?" he asks. "Did you seduce him?" He laughs, adding, "No, you couldn't, not with that disgusting body." Zwei decides to educate Akutsu, revealing the marks Lily's been hiding with her chains. Her legs are covered in them, and Akutsu's anger flares. Lily cries and begs Zwei to stop, but he ignores her. "Why are you hanging out with the enemy?" Zwei asks Akutsu. He mentions Lily doesn't have wings, but Akutsu remembers seeing them. Zwei smirks. "Show him, Lily." She summons her wings, but Zwei laughs. "Didn't you know?" he says, cutting them off. "They're just chains." Wings are a symbol of an angel's power, Zwei explains. Without them, she's a fraud. He spreads his own wings, massive and glowing. Now witness what real angel wings look like. In hell, Liz finds the place empty since Akutsu left. She wonders how he's doing and gets the call about the angel. She's shocked he was discovered. Meanwhile, Akutsu's furious with Zwei for how he treated Lily. Suddenly, he throws one of Zwei's avatars away, standing back up. The avatars can't hold him, and he destroys another one. Zwei orders the remaining two to attack, but they're no match. Akutsu smashes them into the ground. Zwei attacks, but Akutsu catches his sword and starts growing wings. Zwei's blown away, literally. "A demon with wings?" he shouts, unable to believe it. Lily begs Akutsu to stop, but he's not listening. He kicks Zwei, beating him relentlessly. Zwei realizes Akutsu's rage is all about Lily. Akutsu prepares to finish him off, but Lily throws herself in front of him. "Stop," she pleads. "If you kill him, heaven won't hold back." She explains Zwei never physically hurt her and insists Akutsu's already won. But Akutsu's too far gone. He hits Lily to get her out of the way. Zwei gets angry, and Lily uses her chains to hold him back. Akutsu attacks again, and Lily dodges, realizing the collar isn't working. She notices one of Akutsu's wings is missing. Zwei figures out Akutsu's wings store energy, and losing one weakened him. Lily wonders if Akutsu will return to normal after losing the other wings. She and Zwei decide to buy time, but Akutsu's too strong now. Zwei takes on 4 wings, while Lily handles the last one. Akutsu charges, and they use chains to hold him, but it's not enough. Zwei lands a punch, but Akutsu smashes his head into the ground. Zwei uses his wings to destroy Akutsu, but Akutsu pushes him away. Zwei leaves the rest to Lily. She advances, but it's a decoy. She destroys his last wing, remembering their time together. "You're kinder than anyone," she says, fainting. Akutsu comes to his senses and holds her. He lets Zwei go, but warns him, "If you show up again, I'll be ready." Zwei finds Akutsu interesting and leaves. Back at Akutsu's apartment, he's nervous about getting Lily's shirt off. He's a clean freak and can't stand the thought of her dirty clothes on his bed. He tries calling Lilia for help, but she doesn't respond. Just as he's about to do it himself, Lilia shows up and starts changing Lily's clothes. Akutsu freaks out. "Why are you doing that in front of me?" he yells. She puts Lily in bed and asks Akutsu to follow her. He notices a bruise on her wrist. "Lily stopped me from appearing during the fight," Lilia explains. "This is from fighting her chains." Akutsu asks if she saw what happened to him. Lilia describes how he looked, repulsive, laughing while trampling enemies and attacking Lily. She thinks he wasn't in his right mind and tells him not to dwell on it. Akutsu feels guilty, but Lilia reassures him. "All of Lily's fear and anger disappeared when you saved her," she says. She explains Lily's struggles in heaven, how her strict family made her endure injustice to earn their approval. "Now everything's ruined because of you," Lilia says, crying. "But you freed her. Thank you." Akutsu knows he shouldn't have helped the angels, but he doesn't regret it. Lilia points out she's crying and tells him to comfort her. He reluctantly pats her head, and she takes a photo. "Gathering evidence," she says. "You'll need to keep protecting Lily, or I'll show this to her." Akutsu realizes he's been set up, but admits Lily's importance to him too. The next day, Lily wakes up in Akutsu's apartment and panics, thinking he changed her clothes. She checks and finds her bras gone, sending her into a spiral of despair. Akutsu tries to explain, but Lily's ready to destroy him. Lilia steps in, revealing she's the one who changed Lily's clothes. Lily's relieved, but punishes Lilia anyway. She apologizes to Akutsu and asks what happened with Zwei. Akutsu explains he let Zwei go after a warning. Lily's skeptical but drops it. Lily decides to stay at Akutsu's place, claiming it's safer. Akutsu shocked. There's only one bed. Lily calls him a pervert and insists she'll take the bed. Akutsu complains about sleeping on the floor, but Lily offers him the duvet cover. She calls Lilia to buy supplies, and Lilia leaves them alone. Both are nervous about the arrangement. That night, Lily sits next to Akutsu while he sleeps. She confesses she knew Zwei wouldn't hurt her, but was terrified of her older sister's punishment. "I wished with all my might you'd come save me," she whispers. "When you did, I couldn't help but cry from happiness." She kisses him and returns to bed, happy. The next day, they rush to school, bickering about oversleeping. Lily's annoyed, but Akutsu reminds her she woke up late too. They meet their friends, and Hirota jokes they slept together again, earning a scolding from Yuka. As they walk to school, Lily reflects on how much her life has changed. "I never thought I'd have feelings and friendships like these," she thinks. It's all thanks to Akutsu. She knows she's in love with him and hopes he feels the same. In class, Akutsu can't stop staring at Lily. It seems like he's about to confess, but instead, he points out she forgot her ribbon at his place. After school, Lily heads to his apartment to get it, only to find Liz clinging to Akutsu. "What's going on?" Lily shouts, her face turning red.